Hello everyone and welcome to another Sketch Starters with Nicole. Today I have another fabulous sketch for you and I'm going to show you two ways that I've interpreted the sketch. And I thought I would go for a masculine versus feminine today and also another literal versus more loose translation of the sketch. So let's get started with my first interpretation. Alright, so today I am also going to be using washi tape. As you know, we came out with some brand new washi tape recently and this is the Sweet Dreams washi tape set. And also the 1-inch gold washi tape. So what I thought I would do with my first one here is more of the literal translation and also the masculine version, where I'm going to create basically that whole background pattern using the washi tape. Now, instead of cutting these straight on, I am tearing the ends, and the ends don't have to be torn neatly if I don't want them to be. But I do want these to be evenly spaced all the way across. So what I discovered is that for a 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 piece, I need to leave like a little, like almost a 1/16 of an inch, which I know is kind of crazy, right? But what I'm going to do is just leave these all kind of in place, still on their rolls my first go around here. So you can kind of see how that all works. And then once I have the first row established, then it's pretty easy to get the rest of these going. All right, so you see I'm leaving just the tiniest little space in between. And then let me grab one more color here. And then you can also see that I have that I've varied the length of all of these. All right, and that's because I want them to be kind of staggered as I go. So this is actually pretty good spacing, so now I can tear all of these off. And I am just going to leave these kind of stuck to the silicone mat for as well as they will stick. It's not really going to stick super great to silicone because tape and other things just really don't stick to it. So now I'm just going to take smaller pieces, or varied length pieces I should say, and match them up and get them in place to create the pattern all the way across. And what I'm trying to do here is to just make sure that I've got different colors and lengths going at different times. And I'm not concerned about matching up my pattern on the end here. So like this, I just need to trim a little bit off of there. And perhaps now I feel like that's too big of a space. So I haven't pushed down on my washi tape that much. So I can lift it a little bit and move it up. I'm just trying to keep this spacing all the way through if I can. All right, so let's see, what should I do next? Let's do another piece of gold. All right, and then I'll do the dark down here. And maybe leave just a little bit there to add another piece of gold on the end. All right, so this is just another fun way to create a cool background with washi tape. I guess it takes a little bit of concentration because I'm not doing a whole lot of talking, am I? All right, and if I do have some little creases in there, I can work them out with my nail. There we go. Didn't quite get that one straight. Go. And then since I already have the gold here, let's do the light color. That'll work. All right, so now I have my whole background done and I'm basically done with the washi tape. So I can pick this up and just flip these guys over. I like to do this because that does help secure the tape. Now on this side, of course, I do have all of these raw edges, so it's really good to press down on these, give them a little bit of a rub, and make sure that they're really adhered well. Okay, so this is going to go directly on a card base. There we go. All right, and then to finish up that last element, I've pre-cut some items from the Hello and Hugs stamp set and dies. So I have the hello, and then I have how are you on a little sentiment strip here, and I kind of wanted to weave this together. So I'm going to stick it between the L's and then bring that H up over the top, and then kind of have that all together like so. So I'm going to flip it over real quick just to get a little bit of glue on the L and the H there, and then flip it back around. There we go. That looks pretty good. That's just enough to get it kind of temporarily adhered until I can get adhesive all over everything and get it stuck down to the card base. All right. So this is our first design. And you can see that that comes together pretty quickly. The only difficulty really on this one is trying to get these spacings in between the washi tape. But now that you've seen me do it, you can see exactly how much space you really need in between, and that will help you to set up something similar. All right, so for my second project, I'm going to be using the Bohemian Rhapsody washi tape, and this is a larger washi tape. So I'm going to just pull a little bit of it out here and put it right down on some cardstock. Now this I feel really qualifies for the sketch because it has these florals, but they're kind of in these columns. So it is in the spirit of the sketch to have kind of a pattern that is kind of in a column but not quite. So I think that really works. All right, and when you're covering the whole back here, get rid of my excess there. And if you don't want bulk in the corners, just cut these off at an angle. And that will really help when you're doing your folding over. You won't have as much bulk. All right. So now I can just fold these over. Okay, so instead of leaving this plain as such, I thought I would add some color to it, and I'm doing that by using some artist markers. And so I have Mango Smoothie for my yellow, I have Blush for pink, and Bamboo for the green. So I'm going to start with the blush, and I'm actually going to do the whole background, not being perfect about coloring it in, just trying to get it in all of the spaces basically to give it a very faint blush. All right, and because it's the alcohol marker, it shouldn't bead up and it's going to dry very quickly on here. If you try to use any other coloring medium, it probably will come up or it won't stick at all. Watercolor really doesn't work with washi tape because of its shiny surface. All right, so it just takes a minute here to get this color in place. And like I said, I'm not being too particular about making sure that I get it in every nook and cranny and right up to the edge. I just want to give it that hint of color, which is why I chose these lighter colored markers. All right. So now that I have that done, almost, there we go. Let's move on to the bamboo, which is the lightest shade of green in this particular family. And I'm just going to color in these ginkgo leaves. Again, I'm not doing it perfect. I'm not trying to get right up to the line on any of these. Just a quick color. And so basically any of the leaves. All right, and even with the flowers here, color those in. And you can see I just went under the lines there. That's okay. You know, sometimes you get paper and that's the intent of it, is to not be a neat color and it goes outside the lines a little bit, and that's not a problem. Just don't fret over it. Okay, so then the third one, the mango smoothie. Oops, I'll go ahead and add that to any of the flowers. There we go. So this is something that you don't have to do if you don't want to, or if you don't have artist markers, alcohol-based markers to do the coloring. Of course, you could skip this part, but I think it brings a whole nother level to this particular washi tape. It's very, very cool. All right, so that is basically all there is to this card. I'm going to go ahead and add this to a card base. And then we just need to add a sentiment. So I pulled a sentiment from the sentiment strip stamp set, Let's Chat Soon. And that's on some nice yellow cardstock. And again, that fulfills our sketch requirement by having that nice little thin strip to help break up this whole space. All right, so very simply, 2 takes on our sketch for today. I hope you guys enjoyed this sketch, and don't forget that you can save it to your Pinterest, your Instagram, wherever you go to look at all of your inspiration for your projects. I'd love to see what you create with this sketch, so don't forget to use Altenew sketch starters for your hashtag when you're sharing out on social media. Thanks so much for stopping by today. I'll have another sketch for you soon, but until then, happy crafting.